Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another video this week. We are going to continue on with the same theme that we've been talking about this week, and that is the idea of initiative and making our attacks and responding to an incoming attack. But before we get into that, let's bow and start with our warm-ups. Come to ready, attention, bow. All right, jumping jacks just like the other day. Go. Up and out, so going up and out, up and out with those arms. Now going forward and backward. And stop. Good. Circle your head around. Other way. Arms. And back. Cross. Up and down. Twist. Circle the hips around. Other way. Good. Bring your feet in closer. Circle around with the knees. Other way. Good. Circle the hips outward with the leg and inward. Get that leg up and around, nice and high. Other. Good. All right, so this week we've been talking about concepts of initiative and making our attacks. If you haven't seen the previous video this week, make sure you go back and check that one out. Then just return to this spot here because we're going to be building on those techniques, but we're not going to be talking about how to do them. We're just going to be using them. So review them there, then jump into this video as we get into it. So the first piece of initiative, the first concept in initiative is just simply taking the initiative, making the attack. Send. So this is just simply, there is a target and we hit the target. So I'm going to have Kaden come up on this side here, Aylin come up on my left side, her right here. They're going to get set. Now you notice that they're not setting with the same foot in front. They're going to switch sides here in just a second. So we're going to start off with our initiative, our send. So the target comes up, they launch in, make their attack, and the target goes away. The target's not attacking, the target's not getting ready for anything. It's just simply there. We take the initiative, we attack, and we recover. Okay? So we'll do about 10 of those, and then we're going to switch sides. You ready? And make sure you're following along. When you see these come up, that's when you make your attack. Good. Now, switch sides, you two. So you'll be switching your feet that are in front, switching your punching hand. Make sure you're switching at home, whichever side you started off with. Just switch. So now we're going to be firing the punch with the other side. Again, follow along. When the pads are going up, that's when they're up. You see your opponent, you see the target, make your attack, then the pads go away. You ready? Here we go. Good. All right, stay right where you're at. We'll just start there. So the next concept of initiative that we talked about was gonosen. So in this case, somebody's making an attack. We're responding to that attack and then firing our own counterattack. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring the pads up. I'm going to make my attack, block with the lead hand. Then I step back and they lunge in with their counterattack. Okay? So what you're going to be looking for is the pads come up. And then when I make the attack, you block, and then just like they're doing, I retreat back here, and you follow up with your counterattack. Okay? Again, we'll do about 10 of those, and we'll switch sides. You ready? Here we go. And one more for good measure. Good. Okay, so you notice I made an attack. They simply reacted to the attack and then responded with their counter. Go ahead and switch sides. So make sure you're switching sides at home as well. So again, the pads are going to come up. The pads are going to attack. They recover and fire your counter. So you're reacting to the attack here with gonosen. Ready? Reset back to your spots. So in the real world, you don't have to wait for their pads to reset. You hit the body, but we don't have a body pad for them to practice that. And we're only working with 2 people and 2 pads instead of one-on-one here where I'd have this and he could block punch as I came in, okay, and respond to that. Now, in this one, I have to work one-on-one. So Caden's going to demonstrate with his left side in front, and Aylin's going to demonstrate with her right side in front. And when I switch over to Aylin, you guys are just going to switch at home. So in this case, sen, no sen, he knows the attack is coming, and he has to respond to the attack in some way, but he's also going to be firing his own attack. He's going to be acting within my initiative. Okay, so I'm coming in, the pad is up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hold this pad across my belly here. Okay, so I'm coming in, he's blocking. Glad that hit the pad first. And he's firing his own counterattack at the same time. So he's stealing a little bit of the initiative away from me. Okay, acting within that. So, we ready? I am speeding up. Absolutely, I'm speeding up. Why? Because I don't know about you, but I'm not going to attack you slow if we've got gear on and we're sparring. That's a license to get hit. Same thing here. I've got the pad across my belly. Hold it a little bit lower for Aylin. She's a little shorter, practicing at her height. I'm coming in with my attack, and at the same time that she's blocking, she's also going to be firing her attack, acting within my initiative. Ready? Go ahead and lunge into me, the two. There you go. Good. All right. So then that brings us back around to what's going to look like the same thing, but hopefully if you're watching the video the other day, you'll start to see what the difference really is. So getting into sen, sen, no sen, we are able to understand our opponent and know that they are committed to their attack. And we are firing our own attack at that time. So go ahead and stand up, get yourself set. With this one, we will be switching sides. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to set up. Every time here, I've set up, there's been an attack opportunity, and the pads close. Or I set up, I make my attack, and the pads close. Or I'm here, I'm making my attack, and the pads close. So now what's going on is I am going to get the pads up to make my attack and close the pads, but they can anticipate that that's happening. So as the pads are coming up, that's when they're going to be launching their attack. They're able to anticipate it. They know I'm committing to making my attack, and they're attacking. And they're going to launch all the way in with that push step, with that reverse punch, cross punch, as they push all the way in, strike, and back, ready to fire the next attack. Ready? But don't wait. This isn't sen. This is sen, sen, no sen. As that's going up, that's when you launch. Okay, state of mind. You've got to be ready for their commitment and attack before they formulate their initiative. There, that's better. I don't want to hit you in the head. I almost got a step in there. Good. Get me before I can start the attack. Good. Good. All right. Switch sides and make sure you're switching sides at home. Again, as you see the pads come up, that's when you're going to make your attack. You are anticipating what they're going to do, well enough that you can see their commitment to their own attack and take that initiative away from them. Steal it completely. Not just act within it, but take it and make it your own. Ready? Hands up. But watch. Don't let your own self get too over anxious that you act too soon. Wait for that point of commitment. Oh, and I got a little bit beyond that. Oh, don't wait for the step. I want to hit you in the head. Come on. Better. All right. Cool. Head back to your spots. So I'm going to leave you with one final exercise that you can do at home. So we're going to use tennis balls here. If you've got tennis balls or any other kind of soft ball at home, that's good. You'll see why it's important in a moment. Because if you drop them, it's going to hurt your toes. No, we're not juggling. Okay, so everybody's going to get a tennis ball. And yes, so here's what you're going to do. And we're going to show you a lot of variations with this. And we're going to kind of move through some different options that you have. So first option you've got is you're going to get out in a horse stance. One hand's going to be held here. And then you'll try to toss this up in the air just a little bit. Okay, if you need to get used to just tossing, just like that. Do that a couple of times. All right. Then you'll toss and you'll strike straight out and grab. See, that's why you want a tennis ball or something soft, because you're going to be putting holes in the wall if you're using a baseball or something and you hit that. Okay. So again, a little toss, striking straight out and grab with that ball. So instead of trying to slap down on top of it or come up under it to catch, I want to just snatch it out of the air. Yes, you will send the ball flying every couple of catches. Yeah, if you miss, you're going to send it flying. And that's okay. But what you're working on is being able to get this hand-eye coordination to snatch it with the strike straight out to that ball and grab it out of the air. All right, so that's the first one. Second one, just a little bit of a variation. Change the stance. So now here I am. I'm in fighting stance to start, not front stance, but I'm here. Now add with that strike that we were just doing, add that step. Add that step in there, launch yourself into that ball, snatch that out of the air and pull it back. You'll switch it to the other hand. Then switch sides. Okay? So that's a real simple little drill that you can do with a tennis ball and kind of work on the hand-eye coordination, work on the reflexes, work on timing, because you want to snatch it from the air by punching straight out to it. Okay? Now, some other variations that you can do with this is you can catch it and snatch it with the same hand. So if I'm doing that from horse stance, I would toss that up, bring the hand back, and snatch it straight out. And I missed. Okay?
Yeah, I got it.
Bring it all the way back. Hikite, all the way back. So not just a little bit. Not just a little bit here. Bring it all the way back. And I dropped it again. Bring it all the way back to the hikite. There you go. To the hikite, the drawing back position. Then come all the way back. All the way back here. Turn it all. There you go. So that's timing. That's soft hands. There's my ball. All right. So back, out, and grab. Okay. So work that one. How many times? It's up to you. The more you do it, the better you get at it. The easier that kind of thing becomes. So then the next step is catch it with the same hand, but you're putting the other punch in there in the middle of that process. So it's up, and then out, and then grab. Okay? And again, however many times it takes. All right, if you want to take that up another notch after you've done the punch, then make sure it comes all the way back. Yeah. Okay, all the way back in between. And that is, we'll pan this over so you can see the wall here. You can use the wall as another dynamic. Okay, so I'll stand here, any one of those other positions, but I'll use the wall and I'll bounce it against the wall here. So now I'm in my fighting stance, my front stance, and I'm going to bounce it against the wall and then attempt to catch.
My finger!
And rebounding off the wall just changes the dynamic a little bit. Okay?
I kind of like this.
So we're trying not to catch it underhanded, so we got to work on a gentle toss, getting it into the wall, let it bounce back, and then any of those other variations you can do. But we're working on snatching it with a straight punch out to that. Okay? So don't leave your hand underneath, Aylin, to catch it underhanded. You want to strike straight out to catch it.
Does this count?
No. All right. So grab a hold of those tennis balls.
My finger.
All right. So any of those variations work, whether you're rebounding it against the wall or just doing it shadow boxing style, and just gives you a good exercise, working some of that hand-eye coordination, some of those reflexes, and getting that timing down on that punch. Of course, striking it as fast as you can is going to be the key, but you got to have, for the tennis ball, some soft fingers when you get there. Otherwise, you're just going to knock this thing into next week. Now, that is the goal, and that is another application of this, is to, if you've got space that you can punch and send this thing flying, you can take the next step and strike that tennis ball as it's flying through the air. We're not going to do it here. We've got things that we don't want to break in that direction, like the camera that's filming this, but you can do this at home. Head outside, toss it, and strike into it. But make sure when you're striking, you don't leave the hand out and then pull it back. We want to strike out and pull back with a good punch. Right? So, hand me those tennis balls. Set those down to the side. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do our cool down and stretch and wrap up this half of your workout at the end of this video. So let's come together, feet close, right down under the hips, and nice and gentle over. And pull it up. Feet out a little bit more, just outside shoulders, and take it down. And keep it low. Take your hands over to one side and pull. And other side, keep it low. Pull. Bring it back to the middle. Nice and easy up. Feet out. Horse stance type width, so about double shoulder width. Squat it low. Sumo stretch, so the elbows go inside and push outward. Good. Straighten those legs out. Keep the body low. And rock the knees from one side over to the other. And bend the right leg. Keep the left on the floor, left foot on the floor, toes to heel there on the floor. And if you need to, keep this hand inside the knee and push outward. Help expand the hips, get the stretch on the inside of the leg there. And keep it low, move over to the other side. Straighten up. Legs out as wide as they'll go. Keep yourself supported and sink it low. And walk it forward. Sink the hips down. And walk it back. Sink the hips down. Forward. And back. Good. Have a seat. And legs out as wide as they'll go. Slacking. All right. Not as bad as my 90-degree split here. All right. Reach it out. Both hands to the side. And over. And middle. Good. Pull your feet in together. Push the knees down. Grab your toes. Pull your nose down to your toes. Good. And come on back up. All right, so that's the end of today's video, but it's only the first half of your workout for today. Make sure you're going and practicing the kata you're working on for your next belt rank, but also keep in mind the kata that are in focus for this month. We're in the month of May, so we're focusing on Taikyoku Nidan and Heian Godan. If either of those are kata you haven't gotten to yet, then just work on the ones that you know. If you're having trouble remembering those, remember, check us out on YouTube at Living Sword Martial Arts, and you'll find all of the kata and fighting sets there, older recordings of me doing those. You can also go to our website at livingswordkarate.com, livingswordmartialarts.com, livingswordkarate.com. I think we're still under that domain name for that one. And you can go to that first blog post as you scroll down the page, which says kata all the way across the top in the image there. And scroll down, you'll find those same videos linked there, plus PDFs that you can download and follow along step by step with each of those katas so you can practice at home. If you're already a member, you can use the members only site to communicate with us. You can also catch us in the live sessions every week so that you can get some direct feedback on what you're doing in real time. Okay, so make sure you're checking out those resources, and we will see you guys next time. Come to ready. Attention, bow. All right, have a good night.